to the republic and one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call.
Trustee Toparelli.
Here.
Trustee Thomas. Here. Trustee Grasso.
Here.
Trustee Wright is excused. Mayor Fair.
Here. All right, so item number one, or A, because the number is correct, is Village Justice Jenkins.
Resolution authorizing the village justice to apply for a state-funded 2022 to 2023 grant from the Justice Court Assistance Program in the amount of up to $30,000.
Your Honor?
Any questions? Basically, this is state money that we can use for furniture, facilities, things like, the PPE, things that, I think we can use it for computers, we need a printer in the courtroom, things like that. And it's, what happens is, the board has to approve our request to make the application. Then I'll meet with Kathy Kleinschmidt to make a list of what we think that we're needing. We may not need up to $30,000, but right now we had to get on the agenda because we have to have the board's approval just to make the application, and our deadline for the application is October 14th. If our application gets approved, then it's basically on a reimbursement basis, so we would have to make the purchase and then get reimbursed. So that's why I wanted Michael to also know that
it is a 100% grant, though. It's not
Yeah.
a 28.
correct. It's a 100% grant. Correct. And I figured, I don't know. I think that the grant money was requested and used way back when they were building the courtroom. I think they got money for the chairs or the seating. I don't know when the last time that it was requested. So I thought, the money is there. We're entitled to request it, so why not? If we can use it to get new computers. And we use computers, our staff they use computers a lot. And the computers are old and they're slow. And just the other day I sent something to Kathy Kleinschmidt and she wasn't able to open it because I have a newer computer in my office and she hasn't heard. So
Get on that, Rusty.
if the
Yeah, we can look at 60 new computers,
if
but,
they want to give us money, then why not take it and use it?
Any questions for the Village Justice? Jay, put it on the agenda. Okay, thank you. Number one.
Are we not doing the first thing?
No.
Yeah, we said, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. We said they're not here.
Resolution to accept minutes of Board of Trustees meeting from August 15th.
Addition or subtraction to the minutes as submitted, gentlemen? Put it on, number two.
Resolution for budget amendments.
One amendment this month is to increase the revenue for insurance recovery. We put that money into the fire department oil maintenance line to repair the vehicles and this insurance.
Questions for Michael? Put it on, number three.
That's not the insurance recovery from they going to the fire in Woodbury, was it?
No, we've not received those money yet.
Number three, resolution for tax cert settlements.
I emailed everybody the workups on it rather than print them all out for everybody. If anybody has any questions, feel free.
Why is there $10,000 refund for accessible change?
I actually asked that same question myself, and my most logical answer, basically the answer is, it only goes to the year 1920. There was a new owner that bought the building, so the old owner basically didn't care whether the assessment was reduced or not, they were just going to provide.
Any other questions on number three? Number four.
Number four, Slight professional service proposal, purchase Dollar 365. Take and replace that for email migration.
This project was budgeted in the IT technology budget. It's something that we have planned for prior to this budget. And I am going to be paying Avnet on a quarterly basis because right now we're unsure of how long the process will take, but I don't want to put out a whole year's worth of trying to come back. So as long as you tell me with Avnet, we'll pay that quarterly and this project out.
Really? Yeah. Not everything at work is out. Outlook is dated, Anthony?
no, 365 isn't, like Outlook, what we currently have is dated, where you have the client on your desktop, but Outlook 365 is a lot like Google. Yeah,
It's just, it's that. It's basically the same as the rule suite.
Good, good thing about it. No, I'm just reading what it says here. That's why we have Anthony here. All right, any other questions? Yes. No, the mom said it's no good, so I wasn't gonna do it. Number 5.
Number 5, see, take a look inside your folder, you'll see a letter from attorney requesting board of trustee approval for processing his client building permit application and his mercantile application, which are presently on hold with 21-23 West Jamaica Avenue. It's on hold because of back due taxes. Anytime you come into the building department and you put in a application, they check to make sure that your taxes are paid. This business does not have paid their taxes in a couple of years.
This gentleman was actually in Village Hall, I would say at least 6 months back, maybe more. And, you know, he's crying to me about hardship and everything else, and I totally destroyed his business. But his taxes haven't been paid for 3 years prior. In addition, I discussed with the code enforcement department and any interactions with the code enforcement officers that have had with the facility when they're doing something, you know, not having the proper permits, not proper everything else, he's extremely disrespectful and not a fun person to be around. So that's just my.
So Councilor Michael there. I'll need you to speak with Treasurer Fox and write a rebuttal to Mr. Minerva's request.
I shall reach out to Mr. Fox and write the rebuttal.
Any other questions for Councilor Michael? Okay. That's nothing doesn't have to go on the agenda. That's right. No resolution. No resolution necessary. Council's going to write a rebuttal based on facts and data that we have. All right, number 6.
A resolution for the mayor to execute the 28-year community development block grant recipient.
We have the site contract out.
Oh, okay.
It seems to me we
Yeah,
have,
that's right.
we asked for it and then they do it for us. So we have.
I got the letter approving it. I gave it to you, and now this is executing the agreement. Okay. Any questions? Number 7.
Number 7 are resolutions, contracts and agreements. MSTAR, which is the ambulance equipment service agreement for 2 years.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, to Ocean Fire Department.
And then PJJ.
And then you have new era technologies, which is the annual bond.
Questions? Put it on. Number 8.
Resolution for traffic advisory committee recommendations to number 4. A, replace an existing signage on the west side of High Street to read no parking on this side Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I believe it's about Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought we did.
You're gonna say that's another one I thought we did already.
Sunday was omitted.
Okay. So the sign's up, they're just changing it to include something.
Correct.
Any other questions on A? B.
They install a stop sign on Hicks Street on the east side heading north and a stop sign on Hicks Street heading south. So that is right by the church on West Mineola and Hicks Street. You ever come out of West Mineola? Very hard to make a left or a right turn.
Yeah, usually.
You're at a stop sign.
Yes. And that was a request that we had?
That was an observation by our traffic committee that it's been dangerous.
Questions on B? 8C.
Okay, now in the same area, we can see no parking here. The corner is in front of the church because when you try to, if you're coming up West Mineola, heading westbound on West Mineola, and then you're trying to make a left turn, you have to creep out into the traffic lane to be able to see past the cars that are parked right up to the door.
All right, any questions, gentlemen? Okay, number 10.
NECA contracting, this bid of $45,000 for the library restoration, for the restrooms, rehabilitation. They have not been able to provide insurance coverage. So what we're suggesting is that we reject the bid and go to the next lowest bid, which is MCT. So this is which is $2,080.
And what, maybe how is this being paid for? This is a partial bid, half bid, paid for? What was it?
Partial payment from, it was a DASI grant that, Senator Kaminsky was paying for us. And, unfortunately, we're gone over the price, we're gonna end up going over the price of the bid.
What was the percentage of the original grant?
It was $50,000.
So one of like the things that they need 50,000. We originally knew it was probably all the engineering fees, everything else, the construction, that we knew it was gonna be over the 50 anyway, and we budgeted money from the library to offset it.
So the grant was for $50,000.
Right.
And the original was 45, but the probably was a bogus bid because they can't get insurance or something. So then we're paying, what, 33,000, 34,000 change?
What was the next bid after the break? Does anybody know?
I was at the bid opening, the bids were pretty.
Over 100,000.
Oh, so we're talking all.
I think the next one was over 100, and then there were a couple that were up to almost. That's why when when we originally had the
Kind of
45
moved
rec,
that, look.
something didn't seem right with the 45, and everybody else was so much higher.
Any other questions from Mamie or the treasurer?
Process was, could they revise their bid and go back?
We actually already, no. We've already, well, we already redid the project once. And this is actually the second bid opening, and I really don't think this company could do it for the, if we did ask everybody to rebid, that company's not gonna come back and do the 45. The reason why they could not come with the insurance is they realized.
They don't want to come up with the understood, what I'm saying, could they come back and bid 65,000? And
I don't think we can legally now let them change their bid number.
We're talking from Nika,
Yeah, if not, now they're, but you gotta go with the next one.
they're done. The question is whether that takes to make the level qualify.
No, H2M is the
They're gonna
engineer.
put the same process.
H2M is the engineer, the MCT Act service.
Rejecting this bid.
the 45 now.
We have to reject the 45, but
Well, they
we'll
have to
subject
reject
accept the
that one.
83.
Yeah, but we have to do it by resolution.
The resolution would simply be the rejecting of the lowest bid from NICA and authorize, H2M to, investigate. the next
MCI,
one.
yeah.
Right. Terrible result. Yeah. No, terrible result for us.
Well, just because you should, it's 45,000, you know, the little bit.
Well, I think,
That's what John just said, he doesn't want to get insurance.
Oh, yeah, probably made a mistake.
He can't do it for that.
This is not the first time this has happened.
No.
they probably hope they could have gotten in and got some change orders and got it back up somewhere. Probably won't.
Any other questions? Okay, put this on, gentlemen? All right, 11.
Tom Hempstead Bus Patrol Program, Johnny the Legend Mastroianno to discuss.
The town has entered into an agreement with this company called Bus Patrol. And it's the flags that are on buses, the school buses. They install cameras. And somebody blows by the bus. There's a letter that goes out. First letter is just a warning. The second time it happens, it's $250 fine. And town basically did it for all of the unincorporated areas. But they can't do it, sign a contract for an incorporated area. My thought was, and I'm still looking into it, I haven't gotten, responsible people said they'll get back to me, they haven't yet. My thought was that I keep it around court, and why can't the village do the same thing? Now, the cop writes a ticket, it goes to Brown Court. You understand? But these aren't police issues. Tickets. These are similar to a red light camera. And there's significant revenue sharing between the town and this company. So, to bring it to the attention, because I'm gonna do some more research and see why can't the village enter into an agreement with this company, the same way the town did. And the funny thing is, school districts can go past the incorporated village boundaries. And the school bus stops at the last house in the village. And somebody goes by it, nothing. If it goes a block further, and it's outside the village, and somebody blows through it, you're gonna get a citation. So my thought was, well, then why can't the village get into an agreement?
While they were in the building zone.
Right.
So, quick question there. You probably know. So I guess there's a company we'll call Team Camera One. They make a deal with the bus company. They put them on their buses.
Well, they make a deal with the village, the school district has
Or,
stopped there,
or the school district.
right? And they install it, there's no cost at all to the village, no cost.
No, I know
to the
that's a
school
bus
district.
company. Wow.
And the funny thing is, I saw the first ad on TV, warning people on Channel 12 that it's happening, stop or else.
I thought I heard that. Do we need intermunicipal agreements with the school district to do that?
That's an interesting question, I'm not sure.
Because
The town did not get into any municipal agreement with the school district. The bus company did, not the bus company, I'm sorry.
the camera
The
company.
camera company did.
John, could you get me all the paperwork that led up to the town of Thompson and some paperwork?
Because it's interesting, if you remember, we went down this road with the red light cameras. And they cut out the villages completely. You know, the county of Nassau gets everything from the red light cameras, and the company that administers it gets everything, and the villages get zip-off. This is interesting because this would be just between us and the camera company on the bus line. But this is a little more interesting.
The wrinkle from the beginning was that the county kept procrastinating. And then the town said, you know what, screw that, we're gonna do it. And, get rid of this one.
Yeah.
Don't get over it.
The revenue from the TV1 company.
Yeah.
Would come to the village treasury or
The
after the
way
village
the way
board?
it's shaking out now is they review the camera citation. If there's any kind of question, they are deferring it to the town. So we have two people that will review what happened and review the camera. So absent that, they will collect the funds and remit it to the town. Originally, they were gonna take their cut, said that doesn't work. This is town funds. You remit the funds to us, we will now pay you your cut, which is like a third or something. The town gets the majority of the money. You know, this may be, you know, it may be something that, you know what, maybe nobody thought about it, and maybe no other villages.
But it also goes back to compliance, something that's the same again.
Yes.
What are you more interested in, you know, the revenue or the compliance? Well, both, but compliance. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to see that every school bus and bus is getting passed, you know, multiple times.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I go to school every day, David, you got the kids go to school every day, it's ridiculous. You take your life in your hands. And once the word gets out there, you hope that you have better compliance.
This is not like the speeding thing. You know, you drive and you don't know if you're going 5 miles home.
Yes, and a stop school bus.
You're right, right, and the lights are on and the flags
Stop
are out.
signs out.
And you know what? It's egregious. I mean, you shouldn't be doing it. It gets a little complicated. The bus is in a 4-lane road, always over to the right. You're coming this way. All right, so this
State
is.
law says you still have to stop.
Stop. By the way, it's not
Keeps
only,
that driver in.
it's not only for school buses. You know, in theory, I think I would prefer. Even stop garbage trucks or anything like that. You're not supposed to.
Yeah, but
They did
One
that
lane.
with cop, you have to move over the
One
lane, if somebody's pulling over.
all right, well, we digress, but, so we need to get more information on that, and
You know what? Keep my fingers crossed, I think maybe it's something we can latch on.
well, like you said, if the town did it for the unincorporated area, it's something that the incorporated areas would think of. And we're big enough. It's not like, you take Malvern, it's very, very small, you know, Valley Stream is big.
And these aren't, listen, a police officer writes a ticket, it goes across. Right?
Michael, can you see what's happening behind you?
You know? Work session?
Yes.
Yeah, how are you? How we doing?
And we're good?
Are you discussing, Charles, the, development of the park, tonight? Is that on the agenda or no?
No.
I don't believe so, no.
No. Thank you very much, we appreciate it.
Yeah, double check, Michael.
There is a BZA meeting, yeah.
No?
I think you said the ARB.
There's ARB.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Okay, I will get you whatever, develop.
John, quick question. What is it about on a county road within the village?
I bet you they're going by school district lines, so make a note of that, it's a great question. They're probably going by school district lines, which, again, is a little bit of a headache for us, but yes.
What town road?
We have 3 districts that have to deal with.
Five, we have five.
Find out.
Right,
Anyway,
but that's, as Thornton said, that's negotiated by the camera company, not us. Okay,
all right.
certainly worth looking into, get back to us, there's nothing to put on. Number 12,
Okay, this is for the deputy village treasurer to discuss the ADC grant for charging stations and downtown revitalization.
The DEC released a municipal zero emission vehicle install of infrastructure grant program. We can qualify for no match requirement because we're in a climate disadvantaged community. Most of Valley Stream has been cast into that DEC category, and this grant allows us to apply up to $500,000 on multiple applications for charging ports for electric vehicles. In speaking with the supervisory electrical department, we thought the first would be at the pool because it is a location where people are coming, they're going to the pool, they're going to charge their vehicle while they go to the pool, or they're going to go shopping, or they're going to go for a walk in the park. These are L2 chargers, they're not the DC. The DC is like what you'll see in the future on the thruway or the interstate, where you're traveling 500, 600, 700 miles, and you need to pull over and go to the bathroom, and in less than 10 minutes, your vehicle is fully charged. Those are direct current, they're fast chargers. This is not that. This is 45 minutes to an hour type of situation. You're gonna go shopping, you're gonna go eat, you're gonna go to the gym.
if anybody's had the opportunity, and David, please correct me if I'm wrong, you go to Stop and Shop on Franklin Avenue.
Yes.
It just installed it.
There are several at Green Acres Commons as well. If you
Oh, I
want to
didn't
see them.
notice those, but I noticed the ones in Franklin Square.
Those are all the L2.
So if you're in the grocery store for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Right.
That's the value. And I agree with what you said, if you're walking the park or at the pool,
Right.
and it's also a nice, public, easy location to kind of test the water.
Right.
Dave, what did you say?
At Hendrickson Park, at the pool parking lot, and we'd be locating it in the parking spaces closest to the police booth, furthest away from the actual pool. There's good electric service there that we can easily run. We would take 4 spaces, so we'd have 2 ports, and each port does 2 spaces, so we would do up to 4 there. And then the idea was, if we're gonna go for more than, if we're gonna do a second application, we would do it in, what's the lot east of Rockaway at the train trestle, is that 29?
Yes.
I think it's 29, lot 29. Because people are coming to shop. That's 19, right?
19.
Yes. East of Rockaway at the train trestle. Again, access to electric, easy run, 2 ports. People come and shop. People are going to the court. People are going to Mitchell's. They can park their electric vehicle and charge.
So it's an application for the grant.
It's an application for the grant at this point, right?
100% fine.
100% funded because we're in a climate disadvantaged community.
We need a resolution for that.
We need-
Michael?
Right. Yeah.
What is the climate?
So the DEC created these maps,
We have
which
seasons.
take into account, I think it's 45 different factors. They actually described it. Yeah.
What those electric vehicles?
So they essentially said, what are the climate impacts happening to communities? Whether it's heat island, whether it's flood, whether it's minorities that are absorbing the brunt of climate change impacts. So I think that also plays a role in our community, given the diversity here. So it's the DEC sort of categorizing how they're going to make investments, and they're saying disadvantaged communities should get their share before non-disadvantaged communities get the same monies. So a portion of this is only dedicated to disadvantaged communities, and they don't require a match. If you're not in a disadvantaged community, you require a match, and the match is based on median household income in your area. But I could send you the details on how it's so many factors that gone into it. And there's a rating and yeah.
He's gonna send you information, I'm gonna include you next one.
So, yeah.
There are enough people in the village that have Teslas. So if you wanted to do like a straw poll about location or whatnot, full sounds right, but I don't have a Tesla. But I'd be curious to know what people who actually drive theirs.
So one of the people I'm speaking to who is in the industry, who I got some background information, lives in the village, happens to work for a company that installs these stations. And I was talking to him about it. And Teslas are exclusive in their charging stations, unless you go and purchase another fitting for the, yeah. So people who use Teslas go to Tesla's charging stations. That's actually what they have at Green Acres Commons. The ones at Food Town in Franklin Square, and actually Gregoris and Subaru has their own charging station that people can use on their property on Merrick Road. Those aren't Tesla charging stations. Those are universal port. Yeah, these would be universal. These wouldn't be Tesla. It's a standard. I forget the name of it. I've been learning about this, but it's a standard port that's supposed to fit the industry make and model. So multiple cars, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, will all be using these. But Tesla, because they were ahead of the game, they had their own, and they've sort of exclusively. But you can, if you're a Tesla owner, you can go and purchase a different port, and it will work. Yes, and this is due by the 30th, this grant, so I'm trying very hard to get it in. If the, obviously the board approved the submission.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question. Does the consumer pay?
Yes, the consumer pays for the charging station, for the charging. Right now, my understanding, yeah, is that we're just installing the infrastructure, and we would be then entering into an agreement with the company in the future, once that's all done, because they're using our spaces. So we might not get a percentage of the swipe, but we would at the very least be getting, my understanding is a lease, right?
Licensing agreement.
Right, because they're essentially making money off of our property. That's a good question. The Village of Seacliff is installing them right now. I can reach out to them and ask and see what.
Find out what the norm is.
There's also the situation where we're purchasing these things through this grant. We're purchasing it all, and the company's just running the background on it. So we own the equipment, and they're running the operations, the software package on the back. So that might be another way to do it too.
So if there's some problem with the equipment down the road, you're responsible.
Yes, if we own it,
Or we can take it out.
or we can take that. Also, this also sets us up for future if we want electric vehicles in the community, in the village fleet. This says I'm writing a shared use plan that we can use these ports for a portion of the time on our own vehicle.
I like it. Any
So-
other questions, David?
And the final piece is the downtown revitalization initiative. The application is due the 23rd of September. They moved it up this year for most likely political purposes. But we are going to submit our application, and the board just, So please approve that we will be submitting an application to the DRI process.
Fifth time?
Yeah, the fifth time,
It was the fifth time.
the fifth time,
Fifth time's the charm.
hopefully.
Any questions for David? Thank you. General Counsel number 13.
Number 13, easement agreements. I'm trying to develop a format for primarily businesses that access our parking lot for purposes of pickup, drop off, and things of that nature. 29-31 West Merritt Road is what brought it to my attention about a year ago. And so I suggest what I would do, Mayor, is I'll develop an easement license so that people can continue to access the public parking lots and the like. But I'd like to be able to be charging them for that, $200 a month, maybe, if not more. And then it would be uniformly applied because they have pick up, 20, right?
No, I researched over 30 different properties, but I only picked up 3 agreements in those that already exist.
Which are all over the place, they're conflicting, say different things, they go back to the year of the flood. I'm going to update these things as the case of There you go.
See, I'm paying attention.
I'm going to come up with an easement license, and I'll make sure that insurance is part of it, so that we're insured if something should happen. Chapter 99, that has to do with some zoning code changes with regard to wireless telecommunication facilities. We've just been kicking around. I'll make every effort to have that ready to rock and roll at the next board meeting. Trending legislation for the general code. Yeah, we get this every month from the clerk, and the company that does our code book will periodically say, guess what you see appearing in local laws throughout the state of New York, and one has to do with balloons. And so I asked that that be put on so that we can put that up for minutes tonight. Those are the massive revisions that we see sometimes people complain that it's not another thing. So I don't know if you want me to pursue that, see if I can come up with something that could be adopted. If you want me to, I do.
We can look at the times that they did it.
Well, plenty of else. Yeah. Okay. John, when did you do it? Do you recall? It was 2 years. Maybe more. All right. Also,
A lot.
yeah, I think so. Right. So I'll hold the town attorney's office and ask them if I could get a copy.
We've actually had several fires with the aluminum ones hitting the transformers. We've had fires, the aluminum ones, shorting out transformers. I can remember at least 2 that I've responded to.
And then there's the wildlife issue.
Yeah. And it said the telecommunications, Michael, did you skip that one?
That's,
That was part of
that's
chapter
basically,
99.
I'm sorry?
So the reason that was part of the chapter 99.
It is part of chapter.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was 4 different things.
No, it's
Got it.
chapter 99 and some other small changes, but that's the big one. That's will be addressing issues of when they're putting these telecommunications paraphernalia, particularly on routes and things of that nature. They could look probably will look like an ISO. So you want to try to get that under control before it starts to address it quickly. And I've been working on that. And hopefully we'll have something to come to the regular meeting. But I'll certainly have the using agreement for the regular meeting. I'll try to get the balloon release to the regular meeting. And I'll see if I have something on the wireless telecommunication facilities as well.
James just emailed all of us, so I can get it together. A motion to close and go into executive session. Sorry, John. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a question about the easement. What's the property rule? Kind of akin to squatters rule, that you can use the property.
No, but that crossed my mind, because we go back 40, 50, 60 years. We benefit from the general proposition that municipal property can't be walked over. So we can do it, and
I can go to that, I'm not a fan. No, not the neighbor, but we had it, David, I don't know if you remember, Peggy Fletcher. The neighbor was parking his car on Peggy Fletcher property for years when the building was boarded up, dormant. And when we took it over, he's like, well, I have, whatever he called it, so I've been parking my car here for 30 years. Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad. Yeah, he wanted us to cut out a piece that's just to the right of the museum building.
No, we're protected, that will be our property. And
I had to go, no.
it'll be a revenue. We get a couple $100 a month, hey.
I have a motion by trustee Taffarelli, second. Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Trustee Thomas, trustee Grasso,
Thank you for the question.
Uh-huh.